Hello everybody, you are watching The Wandering Willow. I hope you are doing fantastically. Today, I wanted to come on here and yap because I just turned 17 and I'm freaking the fuck out. So let's get into the video. So I've probably mentioned this before, but I am autistic and I really have no idea what my adulthood is supposed to look like because I don't really have any sort of role model of what the heck autistic adulthood is supposed to look like. Because if you're neurodivergent and you were undiagnosed as a kid, you know that being a kid is really just survival. Because your sensoriness and you're just what the heck even is the worldness is just going haywire all the time. And you know, I don't know if other neurodivergent slash autistic people relate to this, but I cannot look into the future. Not because oh, like I'm bad at planning or oh, I'm nihilistic and I don't think anything matters. No, I literally cannot envision more than 2 months or a month and a half into the future. I can't do that. I don't know why. I just not an ability I possess. So thinking about being an adult and needing to do adult things is kind of terrifying because I'm it's hard enough being a kid without responsibilities. I don't know how I would do all of what I'm doing now while needing to have a job and do adult things. I've just been thinking a lot about what the heck adulthood is even supposed to look like, because I've heard many people say oh, it's whatever you make it, you don't have to lose any of your fun whimsicalness or all the fun whimsical things you do now. You just do the same thing, you just also have a job. And I'm but if that was true, then why are so many adults so freaking lame and so boring? Also, as a teenager, adults definitely see me and they're you are a lot more self-aware than me. You have a lot of good insight. Adults come to me sometimes for advice or just input on stuff. And I vibe with adults a lot more than kids my age. I always have. I think a lot of autistic people can relate to that. But I'm kind of afraid that when I'm an adult, the adults aren't gonna like me anymore. As a kid and as a teenager, I vibe with adults because I'm too mature or just think whatever's going on with the kids my age is boring and stupid. But I feel when I'm an adult, I'm gonna be not mature enough for the adults. There's a lot of expectations. Adults' favorite thing to ask me is "Oh, what are you gonna do when you're older? Are you gonna go to school? Are you gonna go to the army? What are you gonna do?" I'm did you know all of the answers to those questions when you were my age? Because if you did, please enlighten me on what the heck to do. Please. If you're so desperate for my answers, why don't you show me how to figure out those answers? Because are you just trying to make small talk with me? Are you genuinely interested? Because those questions are so unhelpful, man. Okay, back to the job thing. Okay, the job thing is what stresses me out the most. I'm not even exaggerating right now. I would rather die than sit at a desk for 5+ hours a day. Also, I suck at teamwork and working with other people. A lot. Whenever I'm doing group projects in school, it always ends up with either me being mad at the group being mad at me doing all the work, or me doing none of the work, or some sort of argument where they're being dumb or I'm being dumb. And it just doesn't work. So imagine that on a much larger scale where you have the threat of being fired and you're being paid money, and that money gets put towards you living in a house so you're not homeless. So it's is adulthood just school group project but on a much larger scale? Because that sounds hellish. Okay, it does. it doesn't sound good. People are like, "Oh, just follow your dreams, do what you love." Um, well, I like doing a lot of things, but I think I wouldn't like them anymore if I was doing them and then I was getting paid for them, and that was like the thing that, paid my rent. I feel like I would just lose the passion, or I just wouldn't like it anymore. Like that happened to my grandfather. He's an insanely good artist, and he did graphic design as his job. And he no longer likes to draw. He doesn't draw anymore for fun because that was his job and he no longer likes it. I don't want that to be me, like I like doing a heck ton of stuff and I'm good at a heck ton of stuff, but I don't want any of those things to be like my job, I guess. So like that's another thing. Like what the heck? There's so many options, and then like you have to work with people a lot of the time. And like I there's a lot of jobs that I want to do, but they involve dealing with people's emotions and people getting emotional over the service that you are offering. Like hair. I would love to cut and dye and do people's hair. But people get really emotionally attached to their hair, so that sounds like it would end very badly. Um Same thing with like, I don't know, any sort of cosmetic thing that I would be interested in, because I think it's interesting, and it's like I feel like if you do it well, you can make your own little like business thing, and then you don't have to like be bossed around by people, and it's great. But you also have to deal with people who are attached to their appearance and get emotional over their appearance. So that's like a no. Like then there's things like being an ultrasound technician, which is a pretty good job. I think the hours are pretty good. The pay is pretty good. It's like there's not too much like transaction between the person because you basically just do the same thing, same same thing but with variety. It's pattern recognition. The thing to learn it, I think, is like 2 years, like the course thing. Um, and I don't know. You get to like be part of the puzzle piece of figuring out diagnoses and helping out like behind the scenes, which I think is pretty cool. I like editing and I'm good at editing, and I take a graphics class, like computer graphics, if that's what you would call it in school. Like we do like graphic design and video editing. So I know how to do that and I'm good at it, I think. You see, there's so many options and all of them sound terrible, but also great. I know I'm 17, I'm still a child, but uh, in a year I won't be a child, according to the where I live. I feel like I need more role models of what autistic adulthood is supposed to look like. Not supposed to look like, or just like could look like, When I look around me and I see the adult in my life, I'm like, that's great, but like, would that even be attainable with my like threshold of abilities and like the capacity to like do and process stuff? Like would that even work? Cuz like I don't know. And the people who are in my life who I know are autistic, either they are diagnosed or not, I'm like, I don't want what's going on with you. I'm sure what you're doing is fine, and you're doing your thing, but I don't want to do that. I will tell you though, I do have like some sort of relatives, like my grandfather's sister's kid, my grandfather's step sibling's kid, whatever. Anyways, she is very cool. She lives with her like 5 chihuahuas, her husband. She's an animator. She animated, like wrote the story, or basically she's like one of the first people in the credits of Over the Garden Wall. And I think she was part of the production of Gravity Falls. She's very cool, very neurodivergent uh person. She also embroiders. I do know that she embroiders, she animates, and she does a lot of cool stuff. You see, like that is fun. That whatever she's got going over there, I definitely look up to that. She seems like a pretty cool person. I've only met her in person a couple of times, but I always hear stories about her, and she sounds great. She also had a purple wedding. Wow. She had a purple wedding dress, which I think is pretty cool. If anyone is watching this, which I highly doubt anyone is, hello. Good job for making it this far in the world of short form content that is eating your attention span. You deserve a cookie. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day. Bye, suckers.